Did you know that you can lower your stress levels by eating specific foods? I'm Dr. Caroline Amelgar from Sono Health. I'm a cardiologist and I want to help you improve your health with science and common sense. Did you know there are some foods that naturally decrease cortisol? Now, I know that managing stress involves a lot of things like a healthy work-life balance, good boundaries, sleep, and exercise, but also changing what you eat can have a big impact on your stress levels. Now, I'm not talking about your acute stress like a fight with a colleague or someone you love, or when you're stressed out about something at work like a deadline. No, I'm talking about your chronic stress levels. Could it be a stressful work environment or the loss of a loved one? The kind when you can't sleep at night because you're thinking about it all the time. So cortisol is known as the stress hormone. So it's part of the activating and energizing response that your body has when it triggers the fight or flight response. Now, it also plays a lot of important roles in our body. It helps us regulate everything from sleep cycles, inflammation, blood pressure, blood sugar level. So it's released by the adrenal gland in response to a physical or a psychological injury. Now, it's good to know that cortisol isn't inherently bad. It's not our enemy. It's even helpful on the short term, but being exposed to it for a long time can chronic stress, and it can contribute to more anxiety and more depression, inflammation, weight gain, and a compromised immune system. So also having a chance of having chronic diseases like diabetes or heart problems. Now, did you know that people on a traditional American diet with high fat, sugars, and carbs have much more higher cortisol levels than people who are eating more fruits, more vegetables, whole grains, and unsaturated fats? Now, this can be known as an anti-inflammatory diet. It can have a high impact on our cortisol levels. Okay, now let me tell you a little bit about inflammation. When we have a stressful situation, our immune system sends out defense cells that can fight infections like viruses and bacteria. Now, when the system is regulated, it can be very beneficial for us, but this response, if it's heightened, it can damage our healthy tissues and lead to chronic diseases and a lower response of our defense system. High levels of cortisol can also increase our intestinal permeability, also known as a leaky gut. And this can allow bacteria into the bloodstream, which can also lead to more inflammation. So wouldn't it be great if we could just choose foods that won't trigger that stress response, but can lower our cortisol and inflammation levels? So the first item in our list is vitamin B. They can help metabolize or burn off cortisol, and this is especially true for foods that are high in B12, like meat or beef or chicken, eggs, nutritional yeast, and fortified cereals when they add B12 to cereal. Now, next on our list are foods that are high in omega-3s. Now, these naturally reduce inflammation. Fish are often our best source, but you can get omega-3s from plant-based sources like walnuts, avocado, chia and flax seeds, and olive oil. Next are our foods that are rich in magnesium. Now, magnesium is essential for a lot of our bodily processes, but it's especially essential for our muscle relaxation. It reduces inflammation and it helps metabolize cortisol, much like our vitamin B. You can find magnesium in pumpkin seeds, actually, almonds, pistachios. You can also find it in broccoli, bananas, avocado, spinach, and dark chocolate. That's right, chocolate. Our next item on the list, dark chocolate, for example, 70% bitter chocolate, has low amounts of fat and sugar and reduces cortisol level and increases our endorphins. So they can also help reduce our stress levels. And the last advice to maintain normal levels of cortisol is staying well hydrated. Now, dehydration is a stressor for our body. There's actually a study that shows that young soccer players who were more dehydrated also had higher levels of cortisol. So I recommend at least 8 cups a day. Now, there's something very important that I want you to know. Stay with me, I'm almost done. Some foods can really increase your cortisol levels, like alcohol or caffeine or saturated fats and simple sugars like soda and candy. Now, I don't want to finish without saying this. Of course, there are types of food that can help you decrease your cortisol stress levels, but you can't just rely on foods for stress management. It's better to take a whole body approach. But if you start knowing what foods to eat and not to eat, it could be a really important piece in your treatment puzzle. So I hope you found this information useful. If you want, you can go ahead and click the subscribe button. And if you like, I also posted another video on how to manage an anxiety attack. So I'll see you there. Thank you for watching.